What if your luck wasn't luck at all? What if it followed you? Because a child was watching. In old Thailand, there was an unspoken rule that echoed through villages and whispered in the shadows of temples. Never accept luck that comes too easy. They believed that some spirits offer protection, their spectral hands guiding you away from harm. But others never let you go. This is a story about the kind of luck that binds you, a tale born from a time when the veil between worlds was perilously thin. Long before the gleaming skyscrapers of modern Bangkok pierced the skyline, during the tumultuous era of the Ayutthaya Kingdom, life was a fragile, fleeting thing. War, famine, and sudden death were not distant fears, but the grim texture of daily existence. In those dark and uncertain times, the people of Siam believed that the boundary between the world of the living and the realm of spirits was not a solid wall but a permeable membrane. It was in this fertile ground of fear and faith that the chilling legend of the Kuman Thong first took root. It was a belief born from desperation, a ritual steeped in forbidden power, and a story that continues to haunt the Thai consciousness to this day. The name itself, Kuman Thong, carries a heavy, almost poetic weight, translating to golden child. This name referred to the potent spirit of an unborn or stillborn child, tragically taken from a mother who had died an unnatural death, often during childbirth itself. Ancient sorcerers and practitioners of black magic, known as Siasart*, held a specific, terrifying belief about these souls. They reasoned that such spirits were immensely powerful, for they were untainted by the karma accumulated during a lifetime of choices. They were pure, potent, and, most importantly, easier to bind to the mortal plane. Through macabre and forbidden rituals, the tiny, lifeless body was carefully extracted and taken to a secluded cemetery. There, it was slowly roasted over a ceremonial fire until it was completely dry, a process meant to preserve it and anchor the spirit within. Finally, the desiccated form was coated in shimmering gold leaf and awakened with powerful mantras, incantations that would shatter the natural cycle of reincarnation. The child's spirit was thus violently forced to stay, trapped in a state between life and death, neither reborn into a new existence nor released into the afterlife. It became an eternal servant. Once awakened and bound, the Kuman Thong was transformed into a guardian servant, a spiritual familiar eternally tied to its new owner. It was believed that the golden child would follow its master everywhere, an unseen presence that was always watching, always listening, and always protecting. Its influence was said to be profound, capable of weaving itself into the very fabric of fate. People believed it could conjure immense wealth from thin air, whisper urgent warnings of impending danger into its owner's mind, and subtly influence the outcomes of life's gambles. In a world fraught with uncertainty, the Kuman Thong became a source of supernatural aid. Desperate traders would pray to it for soaring profits and prosperous ventures. Soldiers marching into the chaos of battle would ask for its divine protection, a spiritual shield against swords and arrows. Gamblers, their fortunes hanging by a thread, would beg it for winning numbers, a spectral whisper guiding their hand to victory. The golden child offered a shortcut to the fortune that life had denied them, but this powerful gift came with a heavy, unyielding price. The golden child demanded constant care. It was not a mere talisman or a lifeless idol. It was the spirit of a child, and it had to be treated as such. Owners were required to treat it with all the tenderness and attention one would give to a living, breathing child. They had to give it a name, creating a personal bond. They furnished its altar with miniature toys to keep it entertained, offered it sweets and red-colored drinks like strawberry Fanta to appease its youthful cravings, and provided it with fresh milk each day. Crucially, they had to engage it in daily conversation, speaking to it as a member of the family, sharing their hopes, fears, and secrets. When the Kuman Thong was satisfied and content, it was a benevolent force bringing waves of good fortune and prosperity. But when it was neglected or ignored, its nature would curdle. It would become a restless, mischievous, and sometimes malevolent entity. The stories that emerged from such neglect are the stuff of nightmares. People spoke of homes suddenly filled with the sound of unexplained, echoing laughter. They told of the pitter-patter of tiny footsteps in the dead of night when the house was empty. They witnessed objects moving on their own, toys shifting positions, and doors creaking open without a touch. Most terrifyingly, they experienced sudden, inexplicable streaks of cruel misfortune, as if the luck it had once bestowed was being violently The child was fiercely loyal, but it was never, ever free. As the principles of Theravada Buddhism grew stronger and became more deeply embedded in Thai culture and governance, the religious establishment began to vehemently condemn the practice of creating Kuman Thong. Influential and respected monks warned the populace that binding a soul, any soul, to the earthly realm through such unnatural means was a grave transgression that created immense and heavy karma. This dark spiritual debt, they cautioned, would not only affect the owner in this life, but would follow them into the next, trapping both the master and the spirit in a prolonged cycle of suffering and misery. The law soon followed the faith, and by both royal decree and widespread belief. The true, original Kuman Thong rituals were officially forbidden, driven deep into the shadows of society. Yet a belief so deeply rooted in fear and hope could never truly vanish. It simply transformed. In modern Thailand, the ancient legend has evolved into the phenomenon of Luk Thep, or angel child dolls. These are factory-made dolls, often startlingly lifelike, that are blessed by monks and adopted by individuals seeking good fortune. They are treated with the same care as the original Kuman Thong, given food, clothes, and even seats on airplanes. But there is a critical distinction. Unlike the true Kuman Thong of old, these dolls contain no trapped spirit, no desecrated corpse. They are vessels for faith, not souls. Their power, believers say, comes from the positive energy and blessings bestowed upon them. Still, a persistent whisper remains. Some believe that the original golden children, the ones forged in fire and forbidden magic, continue to exist in secret, passed quietly and cautiously from one generation to the next, their power undiminished and their presence an eternal secret. Even today, in the bustling cities and quiet villages of Thailand, the echoes of the legend persist. The old warnings are still whispered from parent to child. If you are alone in a quiet house and you hear a child softly calling your name when no one is there, if you catch a glimpse of toys moving in an empty room out of the corner of your eye, if incredible luck comes to you far too easily, only to suddenly sour and turn cruel, you may not be alone. The chill that runs down your spine might be more than just a draft, because a Kuman Thong is not a toy. It is not a charm or a piece of decor. It is a child who was never allowed to grow up, never allowed to move on, never allowed to leave. In the intricate tapestry of Thai belief, one thread remains unbroken. Karma always returns, and no amount of earthly fortune, no measure of wealth or protection is worth the price of a trapped soul. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.